Worked as we enter our second semi-final of the Team Liquid map contest tournament by WardiTV, our 9th edition of the tournament, the 17th map contest by Team Liquid. In the bottom left-hand corner of the map, our blue Terran player, it is Lazarus Wastes as the map, and the player is ByuN. It'd be awkward if the player was the map name. Top right-hand side, our red Terran player is Cure for map number 1. So yeah, guys, going into this, if I'm not mistaken, every map has been played at least 8 times. So every map's been played at least 8 times. A couple maps have been played 9 times. And that means that our goal is to try and get as many of the maps as possible their 9th play. And hopefully, in theory, like, if anything gets played 8 to 9 times, or 8 to 10 times, then I'm pretty happy. Obviously, we'll see how the finals goes as well. A lot of it might just come down to how many games we get in this semi-final and in the final. Obviously, if it goes all 5 games and all 7 games, we're going to get a few more of those maps up to that point. Oh my god, sorry. I'm going to need a moment just to, like, be very chill at the start of this game, because now I feel a bit sick from drinking so much water. Oh, today has been a bit of a nightmare for me, guys. I've had my headset fall off my head. I've had the hiccups twice. Incredible. Nice, you voted for this one? Hell yeah! Guys, if you want to vote on the maps, that's a great reason to talk about it. You can vote right now! Exclamation mark TLMC vote in the chat. We'll give you the chance to vote on these maps. And you can see which one of these you think deserves to win. So go check that out right now. This is live, yes, hello. This is live. These games are being played as we speak. Our players are at their computers, playing the games, doing the StarCrafts. And, yeah, thank you so much for joining us here. I'll give you guys the voting link in the chat. There you go. As we have ByuN and Cure. So we didn't see these guys yet today. They played their quarterfinal matches yesterday. Cure coming through pretty nicely against MaxPax, and ByuN with a great turnaround from 0-2 to 3-2 against Solar. I'd say those were probably the highlights of the playoffs for me so far, actually. So yeah, 2 great Terran players, and again, it is a TvP Grand Final. Who do we think fares better against Hero? I actually feel like both of them going to be a pretty good fight for Hero. I think Hero would probably be the favorite going in, but yeah, ByuN can do well against Hero in online events, as can Cure, I think. I haven't seen Cure as much lately, but he beat MaxPax yesterday, so I'm going to say that actually I feel like either of these players advancing here would be great competition for Hero in the finals. As we get set into our TvT, of course. So it might be a long time till we get to the finals. TvT can be a very long matchup. And Cure have obviously shown his prowess in TvT already in this event as well, as he took down Clem in the playoffs too. So Cure really went on a bit of a tear yesterday, knocking out the best of Europe, Clem and MaxPax back to back. If that's anything to talk about, then Cure might even be a favorite going into this, but we know how just resilient ByuN can be. ByuN really can just take on anyone, I would say, pretty much in this current day and age of StarCraft. So, especially in online events, so yeah, very exciting series all said and done. ByuN with a fun build because he's not playing into the typical kind of, you know, super fast kind of like, you know, 1-1-1 sort of style. He's got the second racks up, and he's got multiple Marines on the way out, and Stim starting early. This is not common for TvT to play such a bio-heavy opening, and so that'll be something interesting. We do see the singular depot wall off here. ByuN is going to try and grenade himself over the depot wall, will not be able to. It's a feature of the map, obviously, being able to one pylon or one depot wall the Reaper spot into the main base, which is obviously quite nice. That's why it's got such a happy face on, right? That's why it's such a happy face, because it's like, I only need to, you know, like, welcome to my single pylon wall off. Yay! That's the face of the players as they build their single pylon wall. Alright, Marines continuing out here from ByuN. Honestly, this map seems like a great map for tanks and, like, just, you know, 1-1-1 stuff in general because of all the ledges and positions you can take on this map, so I gotta say that to me, gets me a little intrigued as to why we have such an insistence on playing, like, a 2-Rex opening. It's kind of like 2-1-1 that's going to end up with tanks as well. We'll see if ByuN can make it work. All these Hellions early from Cure feel great against Marines, but once they get up to some upgrades and medevac healing, it's not quite as great for the Hellions. Obviously still not bad. The Hellions can still do good splash damage. It's just they're not going to be absolutely guaranteed to win the fight. Hellions will still set up on the left. The Reaper will be jumping to the high ground. And yeah, ByuN also has the single depot wall off, so neither player will do much there. This is actually really good for ByuN if he just gets across the map and Cure doesn't know about the drop. And Cure has very good positioning apart from up this right-hand side. I just don't think he's expecting ByuN to go straight up for a drop of units at this point in the game. Yeah, this could actually just kill Cure. Like, very simply, it could just kill him. If he just, I mean, ByuN should just dive in against this Cyclone no matter what. Because the stim versus no stim, the tanks are completely out of position. We will at least keep a medevac alive. I was going to say lose a medevac, which will help Cure, but actually the medevac stays alive. Marines in the back, 7 workers down. We kill one of the 2 Ravens. The other just gets out alive as well, so that wasn't exactly ideal either. It doesn't kill Cure, but it does serious damage. A Raven goes down, 7 workers, a Cyclone. The Raven especially quite costly at this early stage of the game for, and you know, as an investment you've made. Oh, the Viking showing up, going to start a chase. One of these medevacs sacrificed. I think he was keeping it there to keep it safe from the Marine. But the other Marines at least getting out alive, so still able to make a bit of a play in the game for now. Heading down to the bottom side once again, and just going to be seeing all of these Hellions also continue to make their way across the map. A couple of Vikings, the tank, the Marines. We're just going to be seeing ByuN backing away over to the left for the moment, so getting out of there. As the Hellions continue to chase, quite a few Marines continuing to drop. Cure is pushed once again back to the upper right. Attack upgrade still coming through. Stimpack coming in. All that's still setting up as we do have our Marines and our tanks setting up across this right side of the map here. A few Hellions will go pressing forward from Cure. Try and see what they can get up to. As they have a Marine already set up as a target initially. I'm just going to knock that down straight away. But the Hellions getting in. I'm going to be able to get rid of a couple of workers, and it's quite nice as ByuN then cleans them up. Not like the Hellions are a major use from Cure. It's not like he's playing mech or anything. Getting in for a few SCVs is absolutely worthwhile. Something I'm generally going to be pretty happy about here still. Once more, ByuN is moving onto the map, going to come across the right-hand side. 2-2, super quick in this game. Because he was just so biocentric early, much earlier than he usually would be for TvT, it's going to mean that a lot of the upgrades and stuff will continue to favor him. Stemming in from this angle, does he really believe he's got a good fight here? 1-1 against 0-0, but also combat shields against no combat shields. ByuN going to go and get rid of one of the 2 tanks. Can he get rid of the other? All of the SCVs going down. The other tank just survives, and now the siege tanks of ByuN surely in trouble to the Vikings. Wow, it felt like ByuN was just a moment away from actually having huge amounts of additional success there, because if he'd gotten rid of the tanks a moment or two soon, he would have had so many more Marines left alive. I was surprised he didn't. I actually think the SCVs pulling in caused so much friendly fire that ByuN killed a lot of his own Marines with his own tank fire even. Wow, that was really a good call though from ByuN, because he was up on upgrades and combat shield. And combat shield specifically means you really shred the Marines, and your Marines are so much more tanky when it comes to tank fire as well. And so it was that combination. I actually just don't think 1-1 alone would have been enough. It was the fact he also had combat shield versus no combat shield. The medevac's up the right-hand side, but I believe there's a couple of turrets there which are going to deny the medevac's entry. The counterattack from Cure is moving across. It's not everything, it's just a little drop, but it's already a planetary fortress on the 4th base of ByuN, and ByuN's macro in this game right now is on point. He is absolutely running away with the eco, the bases, and yeah, even catching Cure off guard, because Cure clearly didn't expect that base to be a planetary. He was ready to run into it and cause chaos. That obviously was not then allowed to happen at all. Uh-oh. Here, moving up to the top. The sense towers get up. I don't know why I said, oh, for some reason I thought ByuN's army was on the right side. Apologies. For some reason, as sense towers get up, I get a little worried. I don't know if I should really be worried per se, but it does mean that it's just going to be very difficult to break some of these locations, right? Suddenly these bases are going to be quite powerful as tanks able to fire back, doing decently, and just going to see the tanks trying to return some fire again. Marine gets picked off. Just going to be seeing Marines continue to set up on either side, and just going to be having a little bit more of this army of ByuN setting up. We will see tanks coming in, Marines pressing forward, and a couple of these tanks starting to go down. Again, fun couple of pickoffs right away there as ByuN obviously paying a pretty hefty price for it, though. It feels like right now, once you get up 4 bases and towers up, and TvT on this map, you're probably in for the long haul. ByuN, how much does he want to commit to the late game? He's going 3-3, more tanks and Marines. You can see that Cure is setting up to play the opposite of that, which is all the starports. That was a bad trade for ByuN. He got overwhelmed there. Cure had so many more Marines, and ByuN needed his tanks to be sieged if he was going to win that battle. Obviously, they never got sieged, and they never got the chance. He really was caught off guard in that battle. Marines out to the far right. We'll get a couple of kills, just clearing out over on the edges. ByuN taking a 5th base. Obviously, these are the bases that have the rocks on them, blocking them from being taken early. Because there are 10 mineral patches, which for TvT means a lot more Marines, or probably a lot more missile turrets and command centers. ByuN trying to bait Cure into these tanks, but he's not able to, so going up into the corner, this planetary fortress is forfeit. If ByuN can't stop Cure getting there, then Cure will be able to take it down. As Cure, though, is distracted elsewhere, because now he's just taking tank fire and not doing anything. ByuN is dropping on top of tanks over here, so making a huge dive on top of this base. And he's going to get rid of a lot of tanks. His Marines are overwhelming, because all of the Marines of Cure are over here. They lost a lot of numbers initially, though, and that means that he's in a bit of trouble now, because he can break down that point of ByuN, but I don't feel like he's got enough to really attack with. And ByuN, at the moment, putting himself into a very good position. He's going to get rid of this tank as well. The repair was just not in play. And now he's going to go up the ramp. He's going to find another siege tank. I mean, ByuN just doesn't have... Cure doesn't have a way to stop ByuN at the moment. I guess these Marines are getting so low HP from stimming so many times, they're actually going to be stopped. He needs high ground vision, get rid of these Marines. Yeah, okay. Marines from the other side from Cure. He's now trying to drop on top of tanks, and he gets rid of a couple, but ByuN's supply is absolutely overwhelming, and now ByuN's reinforcements are starting to come across the map as well. Cure's only counterattack has been brought over here to be able to deal with this. And I do think, my friends, we are on the verge of seeing ByuN finding game 1 here on Lazarus Wastes. Fun display of the map. Not as turtly as I thought it was going to be, to be honest. I thought this was going to be a lot... yeah, a lot kind of closer, I suppose, or a lot longer, I suppose, a lot more... Electron, guys, for map number 2 of this best of 5. So we will jump on in to another one of our macro category maps here. And in the top left-hand side, the blue Terran player from Dragon Phoenix Gaming is Cure. Bottom right, our red Terran player is going to be Shopify Rebellion's ByuN. Well, Electron macro map should invite maybe a bit of a longer game as well, but ByuN coming out swinging on Lazarus Wastes. Sort of a map which I thought was going to be very tank focused with all those ledges getting set up on other sides, 4 bases easily held, and ByuN just says no. I'm going to make it very active. I'm going to make you feel like you're very safe, but then just completely overwhelm you in different places. That was a very fun game. ByuN sometimes does play this kind of more active style of TvT, and obviously I feel like it's hard not to enjoy it, right? Because typically more active TvT is better TvT in my eyes. Definitely interesting. So we do have our command center setting up. Sorry, our barracks setup. Sorry, guys. This is going to sound so weird, but I'm so thrown off by having the hiccups. Like, I feel like because they lasted for so long, Like, my body feels drained from, like, jerking around. I know that sounds absolutely ridiculous. I feel like I'm not focused up at all. I'm so sorry. Try and do a bit better going into the rest of this semi-final, and of course our finals coming up afterward. It's like the most ridiculous thing. I always feel stupid saying it out loud, but that's how I feel right now. Reactor first from here, so a little bit greedy. We'll open ByuN to maybe getting in with his first Reaper for an SCV or so. We'll see how much he can push that issue. And yeah, just seeing our Reaper gonna go across the map. It's gonna be a reactor and a factory coming up on the side of ByuN. So yeah, first Reaper going across the map, the factory coming along for the moment, and a couple of Reapers on the way from Cure right now as well. So getting all of that set to rumble. Who picked this map and who picked the last map? I believe ByuN was A, so ByuN picks maps 1 and 3. Cure picks maps 2 and 4. Well, 2 Reapers, Hellion on the way up. It's a couple of extra Reapers already, or 1 extra Reaper from Cure because he went Reactor first, so Reactor first means that he just gets 2 Reapers as essentially ByuN built 1, then the Reactor, right? So that's the difference between them all right now. Not a major one. There's the Reaper and the Hellion. Start to move through to the front. Just going to be seeing that command center setting up. Starport on the way in. So far, so good. I'm just going to be seeing our Marines in the siege tank hopping on out here from ByuN. So far, so good, right? Everything pretty normal. With 2 Reapers and 4 Hellions, maybe you would hope to get some damage done here as ByuN needs to grenade to keep himself safe. Really good initial grenades. Definitely placed to keep that Hellion back initially as well, so because the Hellion could have obviously given chase. Comes up to the high ground, and now we do know it's 4 Reapers from Cure. He's going to try and hop those into position. Oh, nice from ByuN. He's actually going to lose 1 SCV low ground, but he should be able to defend the main nicely because he can send everything to defend. Because obviously now the natural low ground CC is completed, that's not going to be an issue. He loses 5 workers, though. He's a little bit slow to get there, and Cure is going to strike first. And he's going to get a lot out of this. And now a couple of Marines. We just don't lose 1 more SCV. I was going to say, can't really afford to lose anything extra. Already the damage done here from Cure. ByuN wants to make sure this was the only damage done so he can minimize the losses. It's 4 worker deficit for him, but although he has got a faster CC, which means that Cure is still morphing in the orbital. So ByuN has had the mule earlier in the game, and he will catch up by at least 1 SCV right now. So it's going to be about a 3 worker difference all said and done at the end here. And again, then consider the fact that ByuN had to pull workers a bit, but also will have the faster mule to help out. That now is all going to start being leveled. So, you know, despite those things, from here on out, it's, you know, a 3 worker lead on the economy from Cure. He has a little army supply lead too, and he's the one that's setting up to maybe harass around the bottom left corner of the map as well. Medevac boosting along. We'll be able to take a turn toward the main base here in the next few moments. And towards the main base we potentially head. Right now, ByuN is being pretty defensive though, so there's not really the opportunity for Cure to go and make that play. So for the moment, he will not. Medevac Marines will go boosting in. Just going to sit in the back, and the few Marines coming in as response. So, good defense from ByuN. Probably didn't need the SCV pull. A little overkill, but obviously not the end of the world. So Cyclones at the front putting some damage out. I'm just going to be having Cyclones. Need to be careful as well. Honestly, ByuN, if he'd actually boosted forward straight away, he might have been able to drop on top of the Cyclones. He's not quite going to intercept them, but maybe he just wants to drop himself. Once more, ByuN is on a very fast stim pack in comparison to his opponent. That stim about to finish up here, so stim completed, and just going to be seeing the Raven on the way out from Cure as well, so bringing that into play. And a few Marines is going to take a few steps forward. Marines from Cure are going to sit over that far right side as well. Also a little bit of something to consider that they're just over there, and maybe something we could See come into play a bit further down the line. Tank will siege in the main base from Cure as well, as our Marines will wander past this watchtower. All of our Marines from ByuN heading to the north. And Cure's just still on the south side, sending a few units forward himself. Yeah, ByuN has the stim. Is there really a moment or a way for him to move forward here? I don't think so. Maybe there would have been against one tank. Against two, absolutely not. But he will at least stop Cure from taking the third CC, which was flown into position already, so that will be kept back a bit. It will actually land so it can become an orbital in a safe place. Obviously, you do not want it to just be floating around on the third location, because you want it to actually be an orbital. The longer it isn't an orbital, the more energy you waste. So flies it back, lands it, morphs it. And still behind let's say, a little bit of work account. It's been there since the start, and he's just playing a very different game to Cure, because Cure's building into those Ravens, and ByuN is really going to have a lot of priority just straight up on the bio units once again. I mean, it's just very akin to the first game in terms of the setups. Medevac wants to boost in, gets there before the turret is done. Marines are plentiful, though. And we even save the SCV built the turret. How about that? So even the SCV gets to survive there. That's how quickly the Marines were set forward to defend. A job well done. As our 1-1 upgrades continue on both sides of the map. Combat shield starting on the side of Cure. Just going to be seeing the Marines and tanks continue to rally out here. On the other side, ByuN has his army setting up as well, maybe ready to rush on forward into this natural a little bit here. Is going to stem on through. Tanks will siege. Marines get in position to fight back. ByuN just trying to move around, figuring out what sort of direction he wants to come in from. Gets that to start pushing the orbital away. Straight away. Thanks, Will and Siege. We'll start to go elsewhere. Just going to be seeing our medevacs of ByuN loading up, and a single Marine spots some of those medevacs straight away, so getting to spot that almost immediately. Medevac's trying to figure out a good way to go, but wow. I don't know what ByuN saw that turned him around there. Maybe he did just see the Cyclones moving in already. It was just such a quick response to it. Obviously, that would have been bad if he got caught. Problem is, ByuN has so much supply in these medevacs. The counterattack of Cure is something ByuN cannot currently deal with. Cure taking the watchtower, and now ByuN's going to notice this army here. He has to make a move sooner rather than later. Raven uses a bit of energy. That's going to keep ByuN back. ByuN is going to start darting forward. He's already boosting with the medevacs. He goes between the two Cyclones. He's just going to aim for the third base. Okay, well, the third base probably dies. Instantly lifted. The tanks are quite far back on the defense. He's just going to dive in the main. No defense in the main base. I mean, the main base is absolutely the money position to be in as ByuN as well, right? Because you can just remove so much from your opponent if you're in the main base, to shut the production down, etc. Tanks going down, all the SCVs are down, and the production is camped, and Q is not making his own move on the other side of the map. He needs to decide what he wants to do. ByuN's actually moving forward and actually decides to get rid of one of the tanks here. Q is just going way too slowly about this. ByuN, okay, gonna get Matrix on a couple of his tanks. Anti-armor missile will strike ByuN's army as well. He really doesn't want to fight right now. Can ByuN fall back to more siege tanks here or something to help him out? He's gonna start pulling SCVs, or at least he was thinking about it. The difference right now is really just in work accounts. The army supplies are very similar. ByuN's obviously got units across the map still, while Cure is really relying... Yes, ByuN's actually going to run out across the map. Cure is really relying on kind of breaking through here now and maybe just having a better army, one that ByuN can't break into. Now ByuN's going to lose workers, and this situation's going to even up quite a bit. Where are we going to end up here? I mean, ByuN's still holding his main and natural, as Cure does as well. As ByuN gets the base up on the right side, it's essentially going to be 3 base against 3 base, unless ByuN gets denied on that right side base. The medevac somehow getting up this right side. Another counterattack. ByuN's not done. He wants to do more. And Kira is again moving extremely slowly, so if ByuN just gets back across the map, he could do more damage, which could lead towards game-ending stuff. while Cure just isn't really making those maneuvers himself. Yeah, straight towards the main base once more. He knows the importance of potentially just taking down that main base production. Dropping on top of the tank makes a lot of sense. He's going to find reinforcing Marines here as well, so ByuN finds a lot of value once again with the counterattack. Into the mineral line he goes, getting rid of a lot of SCVs. ByuN's going to stim down his own ramp right now as he makes the play. He's got his tank support, and he knows this is probably one of the best chances he has of just breaking through here. He does okay. Not amazing, obviously, as now his tanks will go down. Oh, God. That was a messy fight. ByuN will be in some trouble, army supply-wise. I honestly felt like that was not meant to be bad for ByuN, but obviously, I mean, it was meant to be bad, but I felt like it had the potential to actually turn out okay. Both players will now have their production completely camped as SCVs try to hold this Liberator in something of a position. Medevacs go down. I think Cure's done too much. ByuN has almost nothing left at all. These few Marines are extremely limited, and Cure is even still just producing a few more Marines as well. 8 SCVs left at this stage is a notable difference. ByuN's floating his 1cc away as he goes after the command centers of Cure. Okay, hang on a second. If Cure loses all of his bases, can ByuN float in the corner and force a draw? Yes, he can. Cure has no way to mine. He has no way to build a new CC. Okay, ByuN's got to draw. All he has to do is float. At the very least, just float and he can draw. Cure's not rebuild his base, and the longer that sign is up, the more ByuN's going to be sure about it. He just needs to float buildings in the corner, and Cure has no way to kill them. I think ByuN, at the very least, has got himself a draw here. Not every day you see a draw in StarCraft 2. I don't think we've ever had a draw in the map contest tournament. I think that's where we're at. Cure has no way to build a CC. He has no way to get the money he would need. He has no CC already up. Yeah, I mean, ByuN obviously plays to try and eliminate buildings, but he's not going to be able to get set up. So yeah, there's going to be a draw, guys. I think that's what ByuN is going to start asking Cure. Cure's not replying. Says Cure. Yeah, so ByuN's asking for the draw. Cure says, Go, next game. Okay, says ByuN. We draw. Okay. We go for the rematch. Okay. We draw. We go to the next one. We rematch. I'm gonna draw the game. Yeah, it was silly. Even though drawing is a legitimate tactic and the opponent did the same thing, yeah, so it's happened. You're so used to draws giving 1 point to both players in other games. Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't really work like that in this, right? Like, how would it... That would work in a group stage if you just give 1 point each, but like in an actual match, suddenly they just goes to 2-1 and we just lose the last 2 maps of the series or something? That's terrible for us, right? Same map, yes, we play the same map on a draw. We literally just regame, basically. Bottom right, ByuN from the Shopify Rebellion has taken on Cure in the top left from Dragon Phoenix Gaming. And yeah. The rematch. Well, Electron, like I say, congratulations, you've earned yourself an extra play. Giving 1 point to each would encourage draws to happen more often. Well, I mean, then it just shortens the series, right? It benefits the underdog, because then the underdog only has to win one less. Is essentially... I don't know. Actually, I don't know. I've got no idea. It just doesn't work in StarCraft. You just give 1 point each. Well, because then someone could play for a draw when they're 1-0 up in a series in a best of 3 as well, right? It just doesn't really work. Oh, in a group scenario? Well, yeah, but you only draw a single map, right? So, like, you only draw a single map out of the series, so... Yeah, it just doesn't work in StarCraft format. Reba moving around the right-hand side. Let's just checking in once again. You see a little bit of a difference in build order here. Cure once again went for the reactor first, but this time ByuN goes second Reaper, whereas last time he went single Reaper reactor. So a little bit different from ByuN. Is going to have the faster CC by a moment, but not by much. And is now going to go reactor tech lab. So is setting up to get the add-ons in place. He's going to skip Hellions and probably go straight into a Cyclone. And then just start up probably just Marines off of the reacted barracks as well. Draws are also just so uncommon in StarCraft 2 as well, right? Like a draw is just like super, like we see a draw what, like I'd say I probably cast like 2 or 3 ties a year, if that, you know? It's a very rare occurrence, so yeah, it's one of those things. But just replaying the game, like it happens so little you can't delay the tournament by just replaying the game. It's not like you end up with like like so many games you can't like run the tournament anymore. So yeah. 3 SCVs go down as ByuN is looking to defend at home with just the Cyclone and a couple of Marines. So far, so good. Gets a Hellion. He will get overrun a little bit shortly, but he's going to have a second Cyclone, a good amount of Marines, and a Medevac. I like the start so far for ByuN. He's the one killing workers, and it's Cure that needs to, you know, be the player to be able to make a move here to basically make up for this. Let's see if he'll find the chance as the Cyclones get lock-ons, both Hellions. We'll be going down. We lose a Cyclone, but I mean, you lose both Hellions, so you lose a lot of power yourself, and you lose a Reaper that's misrallied, unfortunately, for Cure. That goes down as well. That is a little bit of a shame. That is a little bit costly. Siege Tank Marines continuing up from ByuN, and we do have Cure continue to rally down the left-hand side onto the Watchtower. Yeah, Mary forgetting he could lift his buildings for a draw on WSG might be my favorite draw I casted of all time. That wasn't a draw, right? The tie that wasn't a tie. That was so dumb. Actually mesmerized. Cyclone is going to try and defend the main base. Obviously, Medevac darts in. This is why I said ByuN's going to have a moment or two where he has to defend. But it is kind of the onus on Cure to get something done here. As Cure actually loaded up everything, re-unloading now. He was obviously trying to avoid the Cyclone lock-on. 4 SCVs go down. If ByuN doesn't lose anything else from here, this is pretty okay on both sides. Oh, the tank on the low ground is going to kill the Reapers, and the Medevac dies. The Hellions and the Reaper try and sit in the corner, but they'd probably be best just going for extra kills. Oh, goodness, this is a little bit of a horrendous situation. No, Cure loses everything at the end. Wow. That was everything that Cure lost at the end as well. That was really good for ByuN. Because that is Cure basically evening up the work account. He's actually still a couple behind, but it cost him so much to do. That's a huge amount of Reaper Hellion investment early game. ByuN instantly aware that he can go across the map and at least try to find some damage after that. So amazing awareness of just what he can potentially do here. Knows instantly that he has an opportunity. I mean, he saw the fight. He knows how much Cure was invested into that. And now ByuN starts to go across the map to try and deal some damage. Marine sees it coming, and we do see a Cyclone counterattack, and Cure says the Cyclone's not going to make a difference at home, so let's just try and do some damage or intercept something. He's going to intercept a Siege Tank, which, hey, a Siege Tank not getting sieged up is way more value than the Cyclone would have found otherwise. So good job. And there's ByuN trying to figure out his attack path in. There's one tank here from Cure, and ByuN has a Matrix available. ByuN's playing it almost safer than I want him to. I feel like ByuN could literally just Matrix a tank and just go. He's going to drop auto turrets here. No, his opponent drops auto turrets. Now he matrixes. His own single auto turret came down. He kills one of the 2 Ravens, but he lost his own Raven. And now the new tank is about to get in play. He lifts his own tank to get it out of potential trouble. Okay, and he kills the other Raven, and he's going to get on top of the Siege Tank here and not lose his own tank as well. Okay, that job's a good one. Good job, ByuN. I mean, finds the damage across the map in the end. Not going to be game-ending damage, but definitely keeps Cure in a tough spot because Cure was up an additional Raven. Now that's been replaced. Yeah, there's just nice little things, and ByuN obviously now will start to reinforce across the map. Imagine ByuN had the second tank as well. It really goes to show just how important it was when that Cyclone denied a tank, because an extra tank here and this wouldn't have even been a contest. As ByuN lose the tank to a single Marine. That's how low HP it was. That Orbital Command will lift off. ByuN's third CC is moving into an orbital now, so they're going to have thirds in position at the same time. ByuN with a 5-6 worker lead and an army supply lead coming off of all of this. I was going to see, Viking Count is in favor of Cure, and this is the sort of fight he can get back into the game with a little bit, and does pretty well with that there, as we see ByuN just trying to work his way around the corners. Now ByuN actually has healthier Vikings, and he will take down 2 at once, and suddenly air control is almost completely his. Yeah, and a new Viking's not going to help, and we're just going to drop the Cyclone on top of a siege tank on the low ground. We are going to unsiege the units, and we are just going to go for a push in. The Vikings will land to help out as much as they can. Would like to go up the ramp and get rid of that siege tank, and then obviously the SCVs will all die pretty swiftly after. And Cure just knows that this is completely out of control. GG's. ByuN wins the rematch on Electron, and it's a 2-0 lead. Alrighty, guys, hello. Welcome back. I'm sorry for the little bit of an extended break. In the top right-hand side, our red Terran player from DPG is Cure. And as in the bottom left, our blue Terran from the Shopify Rebellion is ByuN. 2-0 lead after getting the tie in what looked like a lost game during map number 2, and then came back to win the rematch on the said map. And one map away from a finals here, as we go into Royal Blood for some TvT. Hero waiting in the finals, whichever Terran player makes it through. Reaper on the way up. Orbital coming in. As we get set up for the moment here, just going to be seeing our SCV. It's going to be coming forwards. And a little bit of scouting these early stages. These SCVs will pass each other by. I'm actually intrigued who has the better record against Hero recently. Hero or ByuN. I feel like it's going to be ByuN. Okay. This year... Okay, this is actually... This year, Cure is a 2-11 against Hero. So that's not a good sign. ByuN is 20-15 against Hero. Huh. I guess for good finals we should really be cheering on ByuN then. I think ByuN is the yeah, I feel like ByuN is the player to be cheering for good finals, but maybe he can get to the finals after it goes to 5 games. Or at least 4 games, right? Just give us a non-3-0, please. We've had 2 3-0s so far today and a 3-1. And like, even if there's a 3-0, I guess we had the draw, but yeah. Come on, some long series, guys. Let's fight back a bit, Cure. Let's have it. CC will be finishing on the natural in just a moment, and just going to be seeing army supply matching each other. I mean, 3 Hellions, 3 Reapers, 2 Hellions, 3 Reapers. Comes down a Hellion, slightly faster siege tank. He's still building 2 more Reapers, which, if he gets aggressive, would be bad for him because he's down a Hellion. If he gets aggressive and the Reapers slip into the main and everything else is in the center, this may be okay. ByuN is kind of holding the center still, and this is going to be Cure showing up. ByuN, what do you want to do? It looks like he's going to send the Reapers. And he's going to try and defend at home with what, again, was a faster siege tank for him. Because he sees it coming, he can evacuate the low ground, get the tank sieged on the high ground, and he's going to have a counterattack to get a bunch of SCVs, and that is something Cure doesn't have a defense against. Oh, ByuN just got all the information and was setting up to just kind of do this in a better way. This is really bad. This is really bad. There's actually just no way to stop this for a little while. Two more Marines pop out. Cyclone on the way. Not going to be done for a bit. I mean, this is a lot of Reapers and a lot of damage, and ByuN is just tearing through the mineral line here on Royal Blood. We jump into the main. Reapers are going to go after a Cyclone. Cyclone gets popped around. We're going to go after some more of these SCVs. 12 workers killed. My goodness, the damage is just nutty. And ByuN is putting himself into winning position. 15 workers killed. It was a great defense at home. Yes, you have to lift up your CC. You've basically had your opponent's main and natural not mining this entire time, and you are now 18 workers up. Cure's hoping this game comes in the form of probably one big push. Building workers right now probably ain't it, so he's just going to start setting up. But of course, ByuN already has a siege tank. It's not like Cure has a Raven to try and nullify a siege tank either. Marine in the center going to get picked off. And this does seem as though we're probably heading towards, like I say, a fast ending to the series. Well, like I said, at least we had a game that went to a tie, right? That was something. Reapers trying to come in. They're just not going to do the damage they need to. I'm not sure if maybe the goal here is just to distract and pull units around out of position. Stim is going to be done from ByuN. Oh my goodness. I actually think this is unwinnable for Cure. With Stim, the Marines of ByuN are going to be incredible. Oh my god, he's just going to stim out the front. There's no siege tank here. Well, Raven drops an auto turret out of nowhere, but this is ByuN absolutely convincing here in the TvT. And there is the single siege tank, which the Marines will split against. He's got a tank of his own, and he will have everything he needs to win this game. GG's. ByuN will take the 3-0 off of Cure, and he is going to go to the grand finals today. He's going to be fighting